Ooh, game 3.
I love a game 3. I absolutely do. For Kazu, the player on your right, it's his second SCG Tour top 8. Playing Blue-Red Gift Storm here for Jonathan Roasum. This is his third, and they've all come very recently. He's really hit the ground running here on the SCG Tour, as he has a top 8 and a finals appearance at SCG Cincinnati during the Hour of Devastation release weekend with White-Blue Oketra's Monument. He has a 4th place finish last weekend before losing to Dan Musser when we were in Syracuse with Jeskai Control. Now he's got this take on Jeskai Control now, which he's changed things up a little bit this week, and those changes, mainly the addition of more copies of Geist of St. Traft, have been very good for him, Craig.
Yeah, they're just small tweaks, but Jonathan is obviously pretty happy with this deck, and he's just changing a little bit here, a little bit there, and tuning it as he goes along.
We do have an update here for you. Another match has completed. And if you were looking for the back-to-back for Dan Musser, if you bet on that, you are a loser, as James First does defeat Dan Musser 2-0.
Are you calling me a loser?
I am, right to your face. Grixis Death Shadow knocks out Eldrazi-tron.
You're very proud of yourself over there.
I've been more proud. I could still be more proud. So for Jerry Thompson, for Tom Ross, and for Brennan DeCandio, you guys are still the only ones with a little back-to-back action here on the SCG Tour.
Yep. Pretty exclusive club there.
Indeed it is.
And that was the matchup that I was the least sure about. Real close both ways. You know, when it's, what would you call that, 55-45?
The matchup is very close. It really, really is. I don't even know how I would call it or anything like that. I just know the matchup's super close.
Yeah, and James First was on the play there. We said that he showed up with, you know, a bunch of sideboard cards for the matchup, 3 Ceremonial Rejection, which is a lot to have in your sideboard.
Yeah, for that matchup, that is a lot of those.
But, I mean, we've been saying for a couple of weeks that people are not respecting Eldrazi-tron enough. It keeps doing great in a lot of events, and it seems like someone was listening to us.
Well, it just feels like, you know, based off of the win last week and then the fact that it was E-Tron versus E-Tron in the finals in Syracuse, that, yeah, it's time to quit messing around.
Yep.
It's time to really bring some real things to the table, and that's also, I think, a large reason why we see so many copies of Scapeshift here in this tournament in day number 2. Because talking to Todd Stevens, talking to Dan Musser, and some other Eldrazi-tron players this weekend, they said if I get paired against his all-in Scapeshift deck, I can't win.
Yeah, real tough.
Yeah, I really can't do anything. Even having a turn 3 Karn, while it's good, it's not great. You know, because they just keep ramping, and then they'll either find a Titan or a Scapeshift, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, one Thought-Knot's here, generally not enough.
And they have to have Thought-Knot.
Yeah.
You know, if their draw revolves around stuff like Relic and, you know, Matter Reshaper and Reality Smasher, that's garbage.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, that's not going to do anything in the matchup. So we do see some players really starting to adapt to Eldrazi-tron here on the SCG Tour. And Jonathan Rossum also being one of them, has changed his deck some to get ready to defeat Eldrazi-tron. Again, a lot more aggressive approach. He was knocked out by Eldrazi-tron last weekend by Dan Musser, but his enemy is no longer in the top 8.
And I would really, we're using the title, the label Jeskai Control for the 2 different decks that are in our top 8 here. Mm-hmm. I would definitely just label these 2 different archetypes. Just the way that they're going to play out is very different.
Yeah, I mean, they are Jeskai-based decks. They do play some different games. A lot of the cards are shared. I would definitely agree with that. But yeah, they're trying to accomplish some different things here. Rossum can definitely get a lot more aggressive, or Nikolich's version, as he plays against Becky Adelman. Really, he just really can't get all that aggressive.
Yeah, and I like the ability to get aggressive. I like that he can punish people that miss a land drop or stumble at the start of the game or have no interaction for the Geist of St. Traft.
Geist seems kind of well positioned right now, especially with how Jonathan's deck is built, which is you tap out for Geist on turn 3 a decent amount of time. You cross your fingers that it doesn't die or they don't do anything too punishing, like, I don't know, kill you. and then if they don't, you have a great opportunity to keep clearing out the blockers for Geist. And Geist is a very quick clock.
Yeah, and we've seen such a drastic decrease in cards like Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah.
That really punish a card like that.
Mm-hmm. And punish a deck like this, too.
Yes. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Both players are going to take a look at their opening hand. And we'll be underway here for game number 3 in just a moment. 2 matches done here in our quarterfinals, 2 to go. And now here's a sleight of hand here from Kazu.
Oh, and I'm a little surprised. It looks like Rossum lost the first game.
No, won the first, lost the second.
Roasum?
No, you're right. Lost the first.
Won the second.
Won the second. Yeah, you're right.
Unless he chose to be on the draw, which is
no
pretty
way.
doubtful.
Yeah, no way. Not in this format.
Not in any format.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since there was a draw first format.
Yeah, unless you just really want to play Modern on hard mode for some reason. Relic of Progenitor is going to take care of the sleight of hand. Let's go over to Kazu. He'll draw.
And look at Roasum getting the basic right away, keeping his life total high.
Flooded Strand. There's an island. See if Kazu has some sort of cost reducer here, if he even is looking to go that route. Yep, there's Brawl. So immediately going to put Roasum to the test. See if Jonathan has a removal spell. The answer is yes. There's Lightning Bolt to take care of Brawl. And now Flooded Strand will be removed from the graveyard. We go back over to Kazu. Picked up another Spire Bluff Canal. He'll play that blue-red fast land. He'll play a Goblin Electromancer. See if this one lives as he passes the turn back. Roasum will untap. He'll draw. Relic of Progenitor is number 2. Bolt number 2. We might have a little bit of a fight over this. A Dispel going to counter the Bolt. And Colonnade.
I'm a little surprised that the Baral is the one that was played first. It's possible that Kazu just drew the Electromancer that turn. But if you had both and a Dispel in his hand, he's going to want the Baral in play when he casts the Dispel so that he can use the loot effect.
Absolutely.
You know, he would love to be able to discard an extra land here in order to find another card.
Kazu's going to sacrifice the Scalding Tarn here pretty quickly. I'm going to search up a basic island. Going to fall down to 18 doing that, while Roasum is down to 17 from the attack by the Electromancer. Kazu does have a copy of Gifts Ungiven in hand.
And I like casting it here. Roasum has 1 Dispel in his sideboard, so the chances of it being in his hand are pretty slim, and this might be as good as it gets for trying to resolve that card.
What's interesting about this is what's the plan and what the gift's for. Because of the relic that's on the battlefield, going through Past in Flames is it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's very tough.
So here is gifts. And I'm curious, like I said, what the plan is on what to gifts for.
It's possible it's 3 rituals and a grape shot.
Well, the first card he grabbed was a Blood Moon.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be thinking, if I grab a Blood Moon and an Empty the Warrens and then 2 other cards that I want, there's just no way he can give me the Blood Moon and the Empty the Warrens.
What Jonathan doesn't know are what are the cards here in Kazu's hand. Right now, Kazu has a Ritual, I believe of the Pyretic variety, and a Manamorphose.
All right, so he's already set up with some mana.
Yeah. And it's funny because now it's like this weird game of posturing where you don't want to, I guess, reveal that you have these the Ritual and the Manamorphose. You want to kind of make it seem like I don't really have any mana.
Sure. I mean, Kazu can get just 4 high impact cards here. Another Gifts Ungiven, which we see, the Blood Moon, Empty the Warrens, and Manamorphose. I like this a lot.
Yeah, that's what he did. Blood Moon, Manamorphose, Empty, and Gifts. Gifts and Empty are going to go to the graveyard. Blood Moon and Manamorphose are going to go to hand. And so now the plan is some weird sort of...
Well, you can go Ritual Blood Moon right here.
Yeah, the plan is some sort of weird, I'm going to color screw you plan.
I like this plan.
And let's go Electromancer. Well, it's time to cash in the Relic because Jonathan Roasum, he needs some help.
Yeah, his deck features 5 basics.
Okay.
One of which is a mountain, which obviously doesn't help him here. He's got plenty of red sources right now.
You're not short on those. Snapcaster Mage was found. There's a second island. Now the question is this kind of color screw you plan going to work? There's another relic. Pass the turn back. Let's go over to Kazi. Attacking for 2. You can't cast Cryptic. You can play Snapcaster as an Ambush Viper. Blocks, yes. Is there a follow-up? Even something like an Empty the Warrens for 3 or 4, you know, for a couple would be really, really good right now.
Yeah, that would be spectacular.
Relic will take care of that that Electromancer.
Yeah, Kazu featuring 3 Empty the Warrens in this sideboard, and we know that 1 has already been removed.
Steam Vents enters the battlefield tapped. Another Snapcaster Mage here. Let's see, a Manamorphose. All right, draw a card. A little bit of mana. Storm count may or may not matter. We'll see. Found a Baral.
Ooh, back on the beatdown plan.
There is Baral, Chief of Compliance. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm not going to use that relic yet. All right, yes, he will. Take care of the Manamorphose. Draw a card. Scalding Tarn the draw.
Very interesting game we have going on here where it looks like it's going to last a long time. Roasum has no white source right now.
Has Cryptic he can't cast. Mountain that doesn't matter. And I believe a Snapcaster Mage in hand.
Yeah, he has to peel his 3rd island naturally in order to start being able to play these Cryptic commands.
Serum Visions. A little scry action there.
Although if he does peel the island, he'll be able to Cryptic the Blood Moon off of the board and then potentially Snapcaster Cryptic to keep it off of the board.
Yep. And for 1 more.
The clock is ticking.
Sleight of hand. That's going to resolve. Take a look at a couple. Pyretic Rituals looks like the card that Kazu took. Again, if he can play Empty the Warrens for a bunch, this is so easy.
Yep.
But he doesn't have one just yet, and you got to remember that 1 was placed into the graveyard via the Gifts Ungiven. Pass that turn back. Sleight of hand to get exiled by the relic. Roasum will draw a Colonnade, which is a mountain, thanks to Blood Moon. Scalding Tarn is the draw, which is a mountain, thanks to Blood Moon. 1 more from Baral.
Lots of mountains this game.
Manamorphose means there's a little bit of color fixing. It does only cost 1. Thanks to Baral, draw a card. I believe is another Ritual, which it was. Play a Steam Vents, tapped, pass the turn. There goes Manamorphose. Roasum will draw. Didn't get a good look at it. Looks like it was a Flooded Strand.
A mountain.
Yeah, Flooded Strand Mountain. In for 1 goes Baral. Serum Vision's going to try to help find Negri something to do here. Scry 2. Bottom. Top is scary. Top is scary if you are Jonathan Roasum.
Yeah, and if I was Roasum, I think I'd want to keep making my land drops every single turn, even though they're just mountains right now.
This is getting scarier.
This is scarier.
Here's a Pyretic Ritual. You're not doing that unless you got plans for something bigger. You're not doing another one unless you've got plans for something bigger. Mana 5, Storm count 3. If you're Kazi, you might be a little bit concerned of something like a Vendilion Click. Maybe taking a card while you're going off, as here's another copy of Pyretic Ritual. Up to 4 Storm. Good. Up to 6 mana. Let's make it 7, pardon me. Desperate Ritual. Up to 9. It's got to be empty time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And no Electromancer out of Roasum's deck.
There are 12 goblins, along with a Baral, which means we have a lethal attack coming next turn, folks. A relic? Yeah, time to cash it in, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe find a new card. Logic Knot. Oh, boy. That may have been useful. Maybe. Maybe. Supreme Verdicts. I don't see any planes.
Oh, what a tease.
This Blood Moon plan looks like it may have worked, as there's a mountain past the turn back. Now, to note, there's a Snapcaster Mage in hand, which means there is a block to be had. block a token, take 12, fall down to 1.
All right. Need basic island here.
Basic island to start. Basic plains also works. Or no, he needs 2 plains. Never mind. Need basic island. Need basic island.
We're on a 1-outer.
Yeah, better than no outs. Good slow roll. This kid's smart.
Yeah, I like this.
This kid's smart.
A little theatrics.
Oh, yeah. I love a good slow roll.
Wasn't there.
Oh, you don't think so? Another Snapcaster Mage was the draw.
Yeah, and he tapped his mana kind of early in this game and got punished for it with that Blood Moon.
Well, Negri is going to say attack step. You may come on in. And unfortunately for Jonathan Roasum, he's got nothing left. Kazi Negri is going to win this match here over Jonathan Roasum. 2-1. Blue-Red Gift Storm going to knock out Jeskai Control, your #1 overall seed, and for your #8 overall seed with his second SCG Tour top 8. Gift Storm going to keep moving along here, and is going to play against either Jeskai Control again, which has got a more spell-heavy version, or Scapeshift. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff here between the two here in Roasum and Negri. But again, it's Gift Storm that ends up winning the match for Roasum. It's back-to-back-to-back individual SCG Tour Open top 8. Cincy to Syracuse to here. Doesn't have that trophy yet, though.
And even this matchup, it seemed pretty close. Like I said, he tapped his mana on his own turn, gave his opponent that window to lock him up under the Blood Moon, really got punished for it. And you know, I think he has to be happy with all these good finishes. But when you're playing competitively and you're going to all the events and you're getting some good finishes, you really want to put up a big W.
Absolutely.
You want to